Let's get it. I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, then you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Polls everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.
Alright, shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shema, Allah Bashim Shai to all the brothers. Yahweh to all the sisters. Yahweh Bashim Shai Brakatham to all the brothers. Alright, this is Real Time Revelations. You know what I'm saying? The show where I bring you what's going on in the world, what's going on in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Current topics, I give you the biblical perspective. Alright, something that's big that's going on in the UK right now. I don't know if y'all heard. If y'all are in the UK, y'all should have heard. If y'all are, you know, some brothers and sisters from the States might not have heard, but there are storms going on all across Europe, and it's about to hit. It's already started hitting, but it's about to hit the UK. There are these crazy storms, flooding, and very strong winds, you know, tornadoes, things of that nature about to hit the UK. And I'm about to tell you, firstly, you know what I'm saying, who is sending this tempest? Who is sending these storms? What it means? Where does it come from? All right. First things first, I'm gonna share a quick video to give a quick, for those who might not be aware, a quick breakdown or rundown of what's going on in the UK right now. All right. Shalom to everybody that's watching the live right now. Shalom. I see Kaya La. I see Maria Reese Cranton. Make sure you like the video. If you ain't following the page already, make sure you follow. You know what I'm saying? I do this show live on TikTok every Monday and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. UK time. All right. So if you're in another zone, you just want to, you know, convert that to whatever your time is. But I do this show every Monday and Thursday. All right. So first things first, let me show you this quick video to break down what's going on in the UK right now.
Britain's late.
All right, let me quickly pause it and make sure it's sharing on the live. You should be able to see that, right? All right. No sign Christ. Okay. So this is what's happening in Britain right now. All right, let's go.
Britain's late summer will crash to an abrupt end as thunderstorms look set to lash the UK for the next 2 days before temperatures become significantly cooler. Thunderstorm warnings have been issued for large parts of England and Wales today, with the Met Office warning that frequent lightning strikes, large hail and flooding could cause damage to buildings. That warning extends even further.
So you see right there, you know what I'm saying, flooding, you know, heavy rain, lightning. It says hail that might cause damage to buildings. Like this ain't this ain't your regular hail, you get little pieces of hail here and there. Like this is hail that could damage buildings. Like this is no joke what's going on right now. All right. If it can damage building, it can for sure damage a car. If it can damage a car, it can for sure damage you. All right. So make sure you safe. I want all my brothers and sisters, make sure y'all stay safe. Stay indoors if you can. You definitely want to stay indoors if you can. Now you don't want to be in an area that's, you know, low ground, because that's going to be the most at risk of flooding. But wherever you can, especially if you're on high ground, you want to stay indoors. You know what I'm saying? There may be calls to evacuate certain cities. I know in Europe where the storm that's hitting the UK right now, I'm gonna go into kind of where it's coming from. Is coming from Europe, and there was flooding. You know, they evacuated cities. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be aware of these things, so you know what's coming. And so I'm gonna break down kind of where it's come from in terms of where this particular storm has come from, and then I'm gonna break down where it's come from in terms of who is sending it. All right, so I'm gonna play on with this video real quick. Let me get it. So you can see all this damage, this flooding hitting the UK everywhere, you know, all across the south. So this is south, like you see London over here to the right. You see Oxford, Birmingham, that's where our school is, Plymouth, Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? You got this whole area, which is going to be hit with thunderstorms and heavy rain. I experienced a little bit of it when I was coming back from instructing for the Hebrew Academy. I give the brothers that stood for Hebrew Academy a hand. You know what I'm saying? Some powerful soldiers coming up. But I was on the drive back, and good night. That rain was no joke. That rain was absolutely no joke, and I expect it's only going to get worse. I have some play on in this video. Get through this.
In Wales today, with the Met Office warning that frequent lightning strikes, large hail and flooding could cause damage to buildings. That warning extends even further on Saturday. After that, we're likely to see temperatures fall into the low to mid-teens as autumn arrives with a bang.
And then also the temperatures is going to fall. I know y'all was enjoying the warm summer, the little warm weather. Yeah, them temperatures is going to drop. Like, yeah, you know. Ain't no more ice creams, ain't no more, you know, slushies. Y'all can put that away. Go ahead and get your winter coat. Get a good raincoat, because, you know, that rain's finna come down. All right, y'all get a good raincoat, and y'all learn where this storm is coming from. You learn who is sending this storm. All right, you want to learn, you know, who is able to send these storms that can damage buildings. You know what I'm saying? We all think that the oppressor, you know, he the biggest power on this planet. You know, ain't nobody gonna overtake America. You know, ain't nobody gonna overtake, you know, Great Britain. We great and powerful. We're good military. But there is a masculine figure that can wipe this whole thing off the map. They can just destroy everything. All right, we're gonna get into it. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into another video that kind of breaks down. So this storm that we're experiencing now was originally passing over and impacting Central and Eastern Europe.
A desperate operation.
That video. Let me get that video real quick. Make sure y'all can see it. All right, no sweat. I'm gonna play this one now.
To shore up flood defences is taking place in Poland as floodwaters threaten to engulf a city in the southwest of the country. The mayor of Nysa has asked all 44,000 residents to leave, with the military now being drafted in. At least.
So these storms are so bad, the military has been drafted in. The military has been drafted in to help people, or to evacuate people from this flooding. All right, this is no joke.
A desperate operation to shore up flood defences is taking place in Poland as floodwaters threaten to engulf a city in the southwest of the country.
So it says floodwaters threaten to engulf a city, to just cover the whole city in floodwater. You know, this ain't your knee-high flood. This is covering a whole city, houses, buildings in water. This is serious flooding. All right, we're gonna play on.
The mayor of Nysa has asked all 44,000 residents to leave, with the military now being drafted in. At least 18 people are thought to have died in the floods across Central Europe, which have been caused by a powerful storm moving across the region.
So they said they evacuated the whole city. The whole city's been evacuated. The whole city's been evacuated. They said how many people was unalived?
18 people are thought to have died.
They said what, 13?
With the military now being drafted in. At least 18 people have...
At least 18 people have been unalived due to this flooding. All right, this is no joke. This thing can take your life. All right, let's go.
Thought to have died in the floods across Central Europe, which have been caused by a powerful storm moving across the region. Thousands have been left homeless and more bad weather is forecast. Slovakia and Hungary are bracing against floodwaters moving down the River Danube. And
so it says thousands have been left homeless too. You know, you living a good life. You live in, them Europeans, they live in good lives over in Poland, Austria, Romania, Hungary. They living good lives, you know, they doing their thing, living their day-to-day life, and boom, a flood comes out of nowhere and makes you homeless. Your whole livelihood is gone. You know what I'm saying? This, you know, I'm gonna break down where this coming from, but the man this is coming from can just change can flip your whole life upside down. You could be living the best life in the world. All of a sudden a flood come, take the whole thing out. Take the whole thing out. You can absolutely flip your whole lifestyle upside down. All right, let's get into it.
Its tributaries. Well, these are the latest pictures from Nysa, where the river threatens to burst its banks. Sarah Rainsford reports from the Czech-Polish border.
In the flood zone of Poland, there is an urgent call to evacuate. Fears that a stretch of embankment could collapse after days battered by a river swollen by torrential rain. Not far from here, a dam has burst. The pressure is increasing. Nisa has already flooded, but it could get much worse. So residents like Teresa have been told to get out to higher ground. It's the weather. It's nature. What can you do? She tells me. But nature is powerful. It smashed.
You see this right here? You see these trees uprooted? You see these dams breaking? Let's say, you know, it's nature. What can you do? You know, they like to call this, when this happens, they like to call it Mother Nature. I'm going to tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Nature is not a mother. Nature, what they would call nature, these storms, these earthquakes, these wildfires, that ain't Mother Nature. In fact, I'm gonna take a quick break from this video. I'm gonna bring a scripture to show you where these storms are coming from or what these storms are. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get this up. All right, if I drop the video and I share this, I'm gonna get this scripture real quick in Isaiah 26 and verse 9. All right, let me get it real quick. Select not this one. Let me make it a little wider. All right, Isaiah 29 and verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts." So this is the Most High. This is the Most High God visiting us. All right, this is His voice. You know what I'm saying? This is how He sends. You know, He'll send a message through a storm. You know what I'm saying? He's visiting us. All right, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder. There'll be them thunderstorms and with earthquake. You have earthquakes going on more and more frequently across the world. You know what I'm saying? That's prophesied in the Bible too. It says, and great noise. You see that, you know, all that water rushing, that's a great noise. Them sirens ringing, that's a great noise. The absolute chaos erupting, people screaming, you know what I'm saying? Buildings being broken down, flooding. All this is great noise and great turmoil. You know what I'm saying? People wondering what the hell is going on. Why is this happening all of a sudden? We ain't seen this in 70 years. We ain't seen this in hundreds of years. This kind of flooding, this has come upon us all of a sudden. It's great noise. All right, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So that storm, you know, you got your storms, your rain, thunder, lightning, tempest, you got your strong winds, your tornadoes, your hurricanes, and the flame of devouring fire. That's where you get things like wildfires or even volcanic eruptions. All these things are the Most High. Right? All these things are the Most High visiting to let you know who really runs this earth. You think, you know, so-called America or Britain or these so-called superpowers, you think they run this earth. The Most High can send a storm that just floods the whole thing. That just covers a city in water. And then you will know who the real power in this earth is. And it ain't Mother Nature. It absolutely isn't Mother Nature. This nature right here comes from a father. It comes from our Lord, the Most High, Yahweh in the Hebrew. All right, that's who this comes from. To let you know, you really can't. There's nothing you can do. No matter what technology you have, you can just wipe that whole thing out. You just wipe this whole thing off the map. You know, the Most High flooded the entire earth in the days of Noah. He flooded the entire earth. He has the power to do that. He has the power to flood all of Europe. You know, he said he wouldn't flood the entire earth again, but he can certainly flood Europe. He can certainly, you know what I'm saying, cover the UK with all sorts of storms and, you know what I'm saying, tornadoes and thunderstorms and lightning and hail. He can most certainly do that. All right, no sweat. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to sharing this video. Give me 1 second. Reset it right here. Get the video back. All right, we're gonna play on.
Up the main bridge in the next town and plunge Głuchoładzi underwater. When the floods...
Good night. Good night. You see this whole van right here. Just, you know, part of the floor has been taken out. You see all this rubble. Probably from buildings collapsing. You know what I'm saying? Good night. This whole van in a ditch. You ain't getting this thing out. All right, let's go.
subsided, there was chaos and filth everywhere. Right into the houses.
How high did the water come?
The water come to this.
Yeah.
Krzysztof and his family had only just decorated. All this was brand new.
Everything is damaged. Everything, money, what we have was from repaired, and now we don't have nothing.
And this is what I'm saying. Most High can just flip your whole lifestyle upside down. You think you're living good, you feeling good, you just, you got children, you just decorated the whole house, got a new crib in there, a new nursery. Most High send that flood, just wipe the whole thing out. All that money you invested, you thinking, okay, I invested all this money, my house is looking real so wild, I redecorated, got some new furniture. You know what I'm saying? The Most High sends that flood. All that money down the drain. All that furniture is, you can't use that no more. It's got water damage, rot, mold. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Most High can just flip this whole thing upside down. That's what I'm saying. You think, these are the nations. They think they living so great. They gonna rule over us forever. That's what they think in their mind. The Most High can just send a flood. Just send a flood to show you a little taste of his power. Imagine when he sends a whole host, a whole army of angels to take down this kingdom. To absolutely take down this kingdom and flip it on his head. Like you see this Edomite, he just redecorated his house. This thing got flipped on his head. Alright, I'm gonna play on.
Just water everywhere.
His neighbour.
He lost everything. All that bread, you know how expensive it is to renovate a house? Yeah, good night. Good night, Lord.
It tells me she fled when the water came rushing in.
Was it scary when it was coming?
Yes. I'm scared.
Recovering from this won't be easy, and the danger still hasn't passed. Sarah Rainsford, BBC News.
Yeah, the Most High can strike fear into this oppressor. The Most High can absolutely strike fear into this oppressor. Meanwhile, he trying to claim, that, really he's God. He's trying to claim he's God. He's trying to go to space. He's trying to be the most powerful being on the earth. The Most High showed him today that he ain't nothing. He has only been allowed to rule because the Most High trying to get his people right. He punishing blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians because we broke his covenant. We broke his law, statutes, and commandments. So he gave us up to them for a time. But the Most High can switch it just like that. Just like that. These people right here, they think they have power. They think they have power, but when it comes to the Most High, they have no power. They have no power. They can't stop a flood. You think they definitely can't stop no angel. They can't stop them UFOs coming down, these chariots, and just wreaking havoc on the whole earth for what they have done to God's chosen people, what they have done to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Alright? We'll play on.
Nguhuwadzi.
Well, I'm joined now in the studio by BBC weather presenter Helen Willett. Helen, we're not used to hearing about this level of intensity when it comes to floods in Eastern Europe at this time of year. What's driving all of this?
It's been quite a complex situation, and we had a lot of hot, dry weather ahead of this. Record-breaking heat in Austria just a few days before obviously this extreme rain has fallen, coupled with some record-breaking temperatures in the Mediterranean, the Adriatic. That also feeds into these storm systems. And we got a cut-off low-pressure system, which basically you've got all that heat in the east, you've got cooler air coming in from the west, and this cut-off low overhead, and it just got blocked. It couldn't move anywhere, so it sat in the same place for several days.
So the Most High, the Most High was cooking. He said, no sweat. Y'all so proud. Y'all so, y'all ain't got no regard for God's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? Like even in Ukraine and that, over in Ukraine, when they was evacuating people out of the city, they would only let their people on the trains. You had black people that was in Ukraine trying to get out. They wouldn't allow them on them trains. The Most High said, no sweat. You have no regard for the lives of black people. I'm gonna keep this, all this water, these clouds. I'm gonna keep that right over Europe, and we gonna see.
Some incredible rainfall figures coming through. It's unimaginable, really, the catastrophic effects of this amount of rainfall when you're seeing it as you are. But in 4 days, some parts of Austria had as much rainfall as they've had in their wettest autumn, 3-month period.
So she said right there, within 4 days, some areas like in Austria, they had as much rainfall as they've had in a record-breaking autumn. Within the space of 3 months, they had that amount of rainfall in just the space of 4 days. And, you know, when you read that story about the flood where, you know, the heavens opened and it just continually rained until the whole earth was covered in water. That's, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too far-fetched now. When you see it happening right here, Most High he held them clouds right there, right over Europe. Boom, rain for 4 days straight. And we saw as much rain in them 4 days as they saw in a record-breaking amount of rain in over 3 months. That's what you're seeing right there.
And that was set back in 1950. So that's what, a 1 in 70-year event. It's absolutely incredible. So that's why, I suppose, the storm was named Boris. And although, as we've just heard from Sarah, it is easing a little in those areas that have been so badly affected, all that water onto the dry ground rushed into the rivers, and it's still got to make it.
And they love to name these storms. They love to name these storms, these funky ass heathen names, these funky oppressive names. Storm Boris. Listen, they should call this storm Storm Yahweh. They should call every storm Storm Yahweh. This is the Most High giving this storm upon the earth. That's where this comes from. It ain't Boris. It absolutely ain't Boris. It ain't no, you know, you had Hurricane Katrina. You had all these different hurricanes throughout the earth. You know, these well-renowned hurricanes. What was another one that was recent? Something. They do it in like alphabetical order. I forget the recent one. There was a recent hurricane that happened, but they call this storm Storm Boris. They need to call it by who it's actually coming from. This is Yahweh. That's what they should say. That's what they should put in their news broadcasts. This is the Most High punishing us for everything we've done to his chosen people and had no mercy and no regard. The Most High has brought this flood and just, you know, damn near wiped off towns in Austria, in Poland, in these cities in Europe.
Way down those European rivers, which are slow response because they're so long. So some areas where it may have stopped raining or may not have had much rain could still see flash flooding in the coming few days as that water makes its way down. And as that system moves out of the way, it's going to develop into another system, we think, over the Mediterranean.
So more forecast for bad weather.
Yeah.
Right. Bad weather. Yeah, you can call it bad weather. There's more forecast for floods, more thunderstorms, more hurricanes, more storms. Maybe they'll get it right with the next storm. Maybe they'll name the next storm Storm Yahweh. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so she was breaking down, you know what I'm saying, as you got this 4 days worth of rainfall, record-breaking amount of rain, the most in the last 70 years, is flooded all these cities, is in the rivers, and now it's flowing more, so you can see flash floods as it's going down the river and all these other different cities. Also, as that rain, or as all that water then evaporates in the sky, it could create a whole nother storm, more rainfall, more floods. Like this thing is no joke. This thing is absolutely no joke. I'm going to play on.
Yes, but slightly different areas, we think, at this moment. I mean, there are red warnings out. That's the highest level warning, danger to life today through parts.
And there are red warnings, not amber warnings. You know, you hear a lot about amber warnings. These are red warnings. This is your life is at danger. Red warnings, your life is danger from this storm. This storm could just sweep you off your feet, not alive you. These floods enter your homes, enter your car. You trying to get to work. That's the last day you ever work. This is serious. This is a red warning.
So the Czech Republic, Slovakia and parts of Germany as well. Still some rain, a little bit of rain left in Austria, but it's moving into Italy and the Western Balkans. And again, as it develops really at the same area of low pressure, the same energy, if you like, it's moving over these very warm waters of the Mediterranean I just talked about. That will fuel intense rains again. So we'll have to be keeping a close eye on that area as well for flooding and landslides.
So we can expect a few more wet months in Europe then?
And she, you know, whoever that other reporter is like, oh, so we can expect a few wet months. Like, I don't think she understanding the severity. It ain't just a few wet months. It ain't just, you know, it's raining, you know. This ain't the itsy bitsy spouter. This ain't that. This is serious. She's trying to break down, you know, as these waters get fed into the Mediterranean Sea, the warm waters, it could fuel more storms, more flooding, more landslides. And the other reporter goes, oh, so we can expect, you know, wet weather for the next few months. Like we can expect more people being unalived by the Most High. That's what we can expect. It ain't just, you know, bad weather. It ain't a wet few months. This is serious flooding. This is serious storms and tempests right here.
This sort of thing, it goes hand in hand with the ideas of climate change, because warmer air can hold more moisture. So the extremes seem to be getting more extreme. So in this situation, yeah, you have had absolutely exceptional amounts of rainfall.
Okay, Helen Willits, thanks for joining me in the studio and taking us through that. A desperate operation.
So that's where this has come from. You know, it passed over Europe. You know what I'm saying? All that water, all that rain flooded Europe the most in 4 days, more in 4 days than they've had in 3 months. All right, so we're gonna get, you know, where this is coming from, because, you know, in that Christian church, I just told you, this came from the Most High. It says you'll be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, with earthquakes, with great noise, with storm, with tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And we're gonna get, you know, the real nature of the Most High, because the Christian church will have you believe, you know, the Most High loves everybody. You know, the Most High is, you know, he only does good on this earth. If there's anything bad that happened, that's the devil, that's Satan. Listen, I'm gonna break down the real nature of the Most High. This is who the Most High is. The Most High ain't no happy clappy, you know, everything's sunshine and roses. We're going to get into the real nature of the Most High. Right? Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39, it says, see now that I, even I, am he. So this is the Most High God. All right? And it says, there is no God with me. There is no, you know, that Caesar Borgia, where they put up as white Jesus, the God of the Edomites, the so-called white people. It ain't no Allah. It ain't no Buddha. It ain't no, you know, what they call him, Rastafari. It ain't no Pan-Africanist movement. This is the one true God. All right? There is no God with the Most High. All right? He says he kills, I kill, and I make alive. So the Most High, he is the one who gives the order to whether you live or you are unalived. He gives that order. He gives that order where are we going to let the floodgates open? We're going to flood Europe. He says, Khan, Europe is flooded. Are we gonna flood the UK and get storms and flooding and hail and tornadoes and hurricanes in the UK? He says, Khan, then Khan. That's what you get. He says, I kill and I make alive. So he chooses when you are unalive. So you absolutely want to get on the right side of the Most High. You want to make sure you are right. You want to make sure you are following him, so you don't end up on that bad side. And when the angels come to him and say, shall we take this house? Shall we destroy this house with this family inside? You should say, la. Now this family, you know, they keep my commandments. You know, they keep the law. They serve me well. So, you know, you can pass over that house. Get the next house with them, you know. Get the next house with them Arabs. You know, get the next house with, you know, whatever other, you know. Or get the next house with, you know, that brother who can't stop selling his people drugs, or that sister that can't stop unaliving her children. Get that house, but don't get this house. This house follows me. This house serves the Most High. All right, no sweat. You leave this house alone. That's the man you want to get on the right side of. The man that makes those decisions, whether you live or you are unalive. You want to get on the right side of him. You want to join the ISUPK and find out how to serve him. So you can live and not die. You can live and not be, you know, taken by a flood, taken by a storm, you know, hit with hail and unalived. All right. He says, I wound and I heal. It's the Most High who will wound you and the Most High who can heal you. All right. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much influence you have, you know, there is nobody. If the Most High wants you in the ground, he will have you in the ground, and there is nobody that can save you. There is nobody that can save you. There's no technology that the oppressor can come up with that, you know, all of a sudden you're going to be safe from the Most High. You know, there is nobody that can deliver you from the hand of the Most High. All right. So we're going to get, let me see. I got a few more videos. So we went into the storm. We went into the flooding. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into the tempests. Because, you know, it ain't just thunderstorms and rain. We got, in fact, that's the wrong one. This one right here. I'm going to share this video. All right, give me 1 second. Let's see that.
If you don't hold it, it's going to go.
You got tornadoes going on in the UK. Tornadoes with that rain, you know what I'm saying? Tornadoes and hurricanes and everything that comes with that. This hurricane right here, it said track the length of the movement of the tornado to be 2 kilometers long. 2 kilometers is the length of this tornado. You know what I'm saying? This is no joke. You better stay indoors. You don't want to get hit with no debris. You know what I'm saying? Randomly, you know, randomly just sending debris and, you know, into your houses, into your windows. You gotta board up them windows. You know what I'm saying? Tape it up and stay indoors and get right with the Most High. You better tune into these classes. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should do. Tune into these classes and learn how to get on the right side of your Father before you send some debris or something through your window. And, you know, he chooses who's unalived and who lives. All right, no sweat. We're going to play on. Let me run it back a little bit. All right, so this storm right here gave this tornado a T1 or T2 rating. All right, this rough. All right.
Hold it, it's going to go.
So you go here, emergency service attended to the scene after a number of properties and trees were damaged. You got trees being knocked over, you know, houses being knocked over or damaged by debris flying everywhere. You know, that tornado can pick up a whole brick, just send it right through your window, or, you know, send it right through your car. You know, listen, you want to be on the right side of the Most High, so you don't get impacted as bad by these storms, by these tempests, just throwing debris through your window. You know what I'm saying? That brick come through your window, that's damn near, you know what I'm saying, it might as well be a bullet. You know, you fear that oppressor sending a bullet through your window. You should fear the Most High sending a whole brick. All right, we're gonna play on. You see right here, this tree's been knocked over. They got trees. A tree will fall into a house, you know what I'm saying, break up the roof of it, you know, even branches might enter into the windows or enter through the roof, you know what I'm saying. See this whole tree right here, I didn't even see this when I was in this first time. This whole tree, this whole ground, you see these roots right here? This whole tree on the roots, just completely on its side. I don't know, you know, I don't know if y'all know how hard it is to just uproot a tree. You know, you spend hundreds of pounds for somebody to remove a tree. They gotta go climb to the top, you know, remove the branches one by one. You know what I'm saying? Remove the smaller branches, then remove the bigger branches, then cut it down. And then, you know, they get this big old tractor or excavator to kind of dig it up if you want to uproot it. Most I could just send a tornado. Boom. Knock that whole thing down in like 5 minutes. All right, that's the tornadoes. Good night. Yeah, them tornadoes is no joke. All right, I think let me see where I want to go. I'm gonna share this scripture right here. I got 2 more scriptures I want to bring out. I'm gonna bring out this one. This is Matthew 10 and verse 28. All right, it says, and this is Christ speaking. That's why the writing is in red. All right, it says, and fear not them which unalive, which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. All right, so you know, we all fearing the oppressor, we fearing the police, we fearing his military. I mean, we thinking he's you know, he's the most powerful man on this planet. Christ said, don't fear them which kill the body. Fear not them which kill the body. You know, they can unalive you. They can unalive you, and they do. They choke out our brothers. They put their knee on our necks. They put their hands down our throat. They will unalive and shoot a sister with a pot of hot water. But Christ says to don't fear them. Don't fear them which just unalive the body, but are not able to kill the soul. All right. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. All right. And this ain't talking about no place underneath the, you know, no place underneath the soil. If you can dig as much as you want, you still ain't gonna find hell. All right. Hell ain't no place that's underneath the ground and some spiritual plane with fire everywhere and red people running around. You know, there is red people running around, but it ain't underneath the ground. It's right here on this earth. When you see the oppressor, when he gets mad and he turns red, that's them red people running around. All right. That's who the devil is. That's who Satan is. All right. And, what was I going to say? Yeah. The Most High, he can unalive your body. He can take you out, and your soul can be destroyed. Your soul can be destroyed where your whole life is oppression. Your whole life is oppression, and you don't know why you're being destroyed, why you're in this condition. He can destroy your body and soul in hell. This is hell right here. This condition we've been in for over 500 years since slavery. This condition we've been in, that's hell. That's hell right there. When you in these storms and in the midst of these storms and tempests and earthquakes, that's hell right there. All right. So you want to fear him, meaning you want to give respect and honor. You want to give your obedience to him that can destroy your soul and your body in hell. All right. Alicia asked the question, wow, when was this tornado? This tornado was, I think, a few days ago. I think it was like Friday or Saturday. It was just a few days ago. All right, in some area in the UK, I think towards the south. All right. And then I'm gonna get let me see. I'm gonna get on this video. So you wanna fear your father. You wanna fear the man who says he is the one who kills and he is the one who makes alive. He is the one who wounds and he is the one who heals. When that oppressor comes to you in that squad car and takes you apart that vehicle and puts his knee on your neck, that is the Most High. That is the Most High that has allowed him to do that to you. When you're on the right side, now I've been in the ISUPK for about 5 years. I ain't never been dragged out of my car. I ain't never really had no real bad running with an oppressor that's put my life in danger. Because I serve the Most High. I fear him that is able to destroy both my soul and body in hell, in this condition we in. That's who I fear. I serve him. And in serving him, you know, he will protect you. You listen to these brothers and sisters in the ISUPK. We can, you know, recount so many stories of things we've been through in our previous lives before that man was put in the ground and we became a new man. Or you hear about the stories of our family members or people that we know that are going through things that are insane, just crazy. But we don't go through those things. We don't go through those things because we serve our Father. So our Father doesn't have to punish us. You punish a disobedient child. All right, but that obedient child, you know what I'm saying, you give him some blessings, man. You reward him for his good behavior. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Bible in Deuteronomy it says, I've set before you life and death. So therefore choose life. If you want to choose life, if you don't want to be impacted or unalived by these storms and tempests and, you know, everything that the Most High is bringing to this oppressor. If you don't want to be unalived like that and just laid in the street, you serve the Most High. You choose life. You choose life and find the ISUPK. You go to 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. You call the number. You call Captain Karathia, and you get your life fixed. So you can choose life, and you don't have to choose death no more. You don't have to choose it. You don't have to choose that lifestyle that only leads you to being unalived or further destroying your nation. All right, you choose life. You choose life in the ISUPK. All right, let me get one more verse right here. All right, Revelations 18 and verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, 'Come out of her, my people.'" All right, so it says, "Come out of her," meaning don't be part of this system. Don't be part of this wicked kingdom. Don't be thinking, you know, oh, I just need to get rich. I just need to play the game like the oppressor. You know, he's a person who, you know, unalives people everywhere he goes. He takes narcotics, he deals narcotics. You know, you got the mafia, you know, you got the Turks and these other nations that are bringing in narcotics in boats and trucks and crates. Meanwhile, you deal in a little this bag and this bag, you know, here and there. They are the biggest drug dealers. They are the biggest, you know, murderers in this earth. You don't want to be like them. Don't follow their example. Don't be like them. Don't be, and the Bible says, it says, ye are of your father, the devil. All right. When you serve him, when you follow him, that's where you become a devil just like he is. You become something vile and something that is not becoming of God's chosen people. Like I remember back to, I forget where it was. It was in Memphis, I believe. There were those cops, those black cops that brutally beat and ended up unaliving a brother. That's because they serve their father, the devil. They are of their father, the devil. You have your Christian pastor in that church feeding you the same lies that his father taught him to teach you, to keep you enslaved. You don't want to serve him no more. Don't be a brother or sister that serves the oppressor. You don't want to be in his military. You don't want to be in his police force. You don't want to be in his, you know, teaching his doctrine, his religion and destroying your people and giving them low self-esteem. You don't want to serve him. You serve your father. You come into the ISUPK and clean yourself of all of that filth that you learned in the UK, that you learned from Britain, that you learned from America, that you learned from the Spanish, the Portuguese, the French. You clean yourself of that filth. And it says, come out of her, my people. This is talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Come out of her, that ye be not partakers of her sins. All right, so you don't partake in her sins. You don't do all the sins that this oppressor does. Because when he does it, this is his kingdom. He commits the biggest crimes like embezzlement and fraud on a huge scale. But he doesn't get punished the way you get punished. He doesn't get thrown in prison or unalived by the police like you get unalived. You know, when he finally gets caught, okay, they get him nice in handcuffs. You know, them handcuffs is probably comfortable too. They ain't put him as tight as they do on you. They put him a little loose. You know, he would complain a little bit because that oppressor can't take nothing. You can't take the oppression that we've been through. They'll make sure, you know, them cuffs is loose, but, you know, he's still restrained. They put him, you know, carefully in that car. They take him to the, you know, wherever it is they do the trial, or they take him to jail. But he don't go through what you go through. He don't get he don't get a knee on his neck. So don't be partakers of her sins. Don't be partakers of the sins of America, the sins of Britain, the sins of all these people that had us enslaved. All right. Because they, you know, even the Bible says, you know what I'm saying? It says something like, be thankful that only we as a people, only blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians were given the law. And only we have known his judgments. Those other nations, they have not known them. It says, praise ye the Lord. All right, because we know the judgments and we know the punishments, because the Most High is trying to correct us, because we are His people. Meanwhile, these other nations, they can do whatever they want because they're not chosen. They don't, they don't have God near to them. They're just other nations. They're other nations. They have a kingdom to enjoy. They should enjoy it while they can. But God's people, we need to fix ourselves, fix our situation. So once again, we can be put as the ruling class on this earth. All right. So we can rule over this entire earth and lead this earth righteously. All right. So be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So you want to completely and utterly separate your mind from these oppressors. You want to separate your mind from all the influence they push in the media, all the influence, they have us doing today in this day and age. So we don't receive of her plagues. That we don't receive of her plagues. We don't receive, we don't partake in the punishment where the Most High brings in storms at Tempest. So that we're not affected in the way this oppressor is affected. You know what I'm saying? So you want to separate from this oppressor so you don't receive that flooding. You don't be that person that just redecorated and now your whole house is underwater. Your whole city is underwater. You know what I'm saying? A sister right here said the Matrix, and she says, is it safe to say our people are too comfortable in captivity? It's absolutely safe to say our people, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we're far too comfortable in our captivity. We're far too comfortable. I don't know if y'all know, when they so-called, freed the slaves, where did we go? What was really different between, being enslaved and being free? We still didn't know who we are. We still belong to this oppressor. We're still paying tax and tribute to him. You know what I'm saying? We still have his language, have his, have people fighting to say they American, fighting to say, oh, I'm British. You have people from the Caribbean saying, or they were born here saying, I'm British, but you are God's chosen people. You are not this people. They are just whose name you have. They are whose surname you have. Like you have the Hispanics, a lot of their names are like Martinez or Suarez or this, that, as meaning that's who you belong to. You belong to a slave master named Martin. So your name was Martinez, or your name is Rodriguez. You belong to a slave master called Rodrigo. All right. And you are comfortable in this slavery. Your oppressor has let the reins off a little loose, allowed you to, get a little money in your pocket, and you flexing, you trying to be like him, trying to show that you're rich to prove something. But you way too comfortable in your oppression. This is not your rest. The Bible says that this is not your rest. All right. Your rest is when your people are not unalived every day. Your people don't unalive themselves, in them abortion clinics and gangs, and people on strung out on all sorts of substances. This right here, what we're living in, this is not your rest. We have a sanctuary. There's a sanctuary in the ISUPK where you can escape all the filth of the world. But this kingdom right here, that's standing right now, this is not your rest. All right. Hey, shalom to ISUPK Martinique. Yabashim Shabakatah. All right. And I'm gonna share one last video. All right. So if that answers that sister's question, I'm saying this is definitely not our rest. Our people, we're far too comfortable because, the oppressors let the reins off a little bit. He allows the NBA players and the rappers to earn a little money now. And now we a little comfortable, but we still to this day, we just higher paid slaves. You're now just a high paid servant. All right. But this kingdom right here, this ain't your rest. All right. I'm going to get one more. Let me get it. We'll get one more video right here. This one right here.
The London Fire Brigade has issued.
You know what I'm saying? This is a recent video going in the UK. The flooding that's now happening. So you saw the winds. You know what I'm saying? You saw the storms. This is the flooding. All right, this is the flooding that's going in the UK right now.
The London Fire Brigade has issued a warning to drivers after they were called 350 times overnight due to...
Good night. 350 times, the London Fire Brigade was called. So in London is going to hell right now. You know what I'm saying? London is in chaos. I would say up in flames, but they underwater. London is underwater. You see a swan right here? This swan right here just chilling. Yeah, them animals, them fish is cooling, but humans don't live underwater. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough. 350 times overnight. They saying so. There's only so much the oppressor can do. He can't save you. He cannot save you. He does not have the resources. No matter what technology he has, he does not have the resources to save you from the Most High. Most High says, none shall deliver you from his hand. All right, we're going to play on. Good night.
150 times overnight.
Them cars underneath the water, this DPD. I think he's still trying to do his job. He's still trying to deliver them packages. Good night. Whoever driving that car is dedicated to the craft. Nah, he probably just trying to escape for real. No, he's trying to get out of the water. All right. Because you can't really drive a vehicle through water like that. You'll just damage the vehicle. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but,
to extreme flooding and carried out multiple rescues. A spokesperson said, if you're driving and your car becomes caught in floodwaters, ensure you and your passengers unbuckle your seatbelts and, where possible, climb out to safety. If you become trapped in your vehicle, turn on all the lights, including your hazard warning lights. And if you are able to reach your phone, call 999.
Yeah, good night. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's absolutely rough, and it's got to be a terrible and terrifying time for somebody who doesn't serve the Most High. For somebody who doesn't serve the Most High and is fearful of their life because they don't know if, am I going to be swept away in this flood? Am I going to be next? Am I going to be amongst that tally of people who've been unalived? You join the ISUPK and find some comfort. You find comfort because you know that if you serve the Most High, if you serve your Father, he will watch over you. You know what I'm saying? Your Father will watch over you and he will protect you if you serve him. That's not to say you won't experience any pain or any discomfort. You might be impacted by the flood. But, if you serve the Most High, it'll be far better than if you didn't. I pray you understand. All right. And with that, I think we up on the time. All right. Most High in Christ. The water for everybody for tuning in. Make sure you'll tune in. We got the Monday law class taught by Officer 50 Mawasar. Make sure you'll tune in for that on the ISUPK YouTube and Facebook page. All right, with that, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatham to all the brothers, and Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'ashem Yahushua to all the sisters. All right, the water for everyone for tuning in.